Okay, guys, because we have the cast literally coming up in math right when we get back from spring break, okay, I do want to spend at least another couple days on it. Since I'm gone today, I'm going to make at least one, if not two videos, and it will go along with what we'll be practicing in class. And let's just get started. So, for the cast, guys, one thing that's definitely going to be there is SOHCAHTOA, right triangles. And they're going to be in various forms. And I'm hoping this video will help you do a better job on it. So here we go. So on this one here, we have a stair railing here, as you can see right here. We want to know how long this stair railing is. We know from the top, there's a 41.5 degree angle of depression, as we call it. And we know from the top to the bottom, the stairs cover a distance, or total height, I should say, of 8 feet. So how are we going to do this one? Well, if I want to know how long this railing is right here, notice that is the hypotenuse. And the 8 is opposite of my angle of depression. So according to SOHCAHTOA, which one uses O and H? Because we want to find H, right? That's basically going to be our X. Okay? Well, that's so, right? S is OH. S is sine. So I know that the sine of 41.5 degrees has to be the opposite over the hypotenuse. Now notice how my fraction is upside down. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a 1 here underneath. And we know that x times sine of that 41.5 degrees has to equal 8 times 1 is 8. So notice, to solve for x here, I have to divide by the sine of 41.5. And so 8 divided by 41.5 is going to give me the length of that railing. So here we go. I do the sine of 41.5. I'm going to do 8 here divided by the sine of 41.5, and there is our answer. So we're going to say it's 12.07. Rounding off a little bit, we could say it's 12.1, and there's our answer. That's the length. So it's in feet, so 12.1 feet is how long the railing is. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Here, we have a friend that climbs to the top of this tower, and he's looking down, or she's looking down at a friend at position B here. Again, this angle that she has to, let's call her she, has to look downward towards her friend down here. That's called the angle of depression. Okay? And so we want to find the angle of depression. Well, notice that the 555 is opposite of my angle of depression. The 150 is next to it. That's called adjacent. According to SOHCAHTOA, which one uses O and A? And hopefully you agree, O and A is TOA. T is for tangent. So the tangent of our angle theta has to be the 555 over 150. So what we're going to do is, of course, divide this ratio, this fraction. We know that equals tangent. And if we just simply do tangent inverse, that means shift tan on the calculator, right? We're going to find our angle of depression theta. So here we go. 555 divided by 150 is 3.7. We're going to do the tangent inverse on that 3.7. And here is our angle of depression. 74.9. The 7 tells me to round the 8 up to 9 degrees. So our answer for theta is 74.9 degrees. All right. let's do this one here. Notice we're given this angle 22 degrees. Notice H, the height here of our skateboard ramp. Our ramp itself is 22 degrees. We call that angle of inclination. Okay, but anyways, that 22 degrees has H opposite of it. That's what we're trying to find, H here. That's literal H, of course, not to be confused with the hypotenuse, because 132 is my hypotenuse. So, according to SOHCAHTOA, which one uses opposite hypotenuse? And as we did in a couple problems ago, that is the sine. So we know that the sine of 22 degrees, that was our angle of inclination, angle of our ramp, equals the opposite over the hypotenuse. So this time we're going to do the sine of 22, and we're going to times by 132 to get rid of divide 132, and we'll find the height of the highest point of our ramp here. So here we go. Sine of 22. We take this answer times 132. This tells me it's 49.4, rounded off, because the 4 means I round down or don't round up, right? So there's our answer. It's in inches, notice. So the height of our ramp was, again, 49.4 inches high. Okay, now, I will be able to practice with you some more generic triangles like this here, guys. Now, notice they want us to find the length of PQ, which is this side right here. Notice that is the hypotenuse. That is our C in Pythagorean theorem. If we look at our answer choices, they did not let us do Pythagorean theorem, which would have been the ideal choice, right? A squared plus B squared, C squared. They're forcing us to use SOHCAHTOA. Some old hippie caught another hippie tripping on apples. Okay, good old SOHCAHTOA, right? Well, the way you approach a problem like this with a bunch of yes and no's, guys, is you do each of these one by one. Okay? There's no, that's what you got to do, one by one. So, the first one, notice, is asking about using the sine of P. Well, the sine of our angle P up here is the opposite 12 over the hypotenuse, which is x. And if we were to solve this, I hope you understand, by cross multiplying, we would have x equal to 12 divided by the sine of P. I'm skipping a step in the middle there, guys. And so this one is definitely a yes. Well, because the sine work, guys, do you agree? Cosine can't logically work. So to save a little time, I'm not going to bother with cosine. Okay? The next one's talking about the sine of Q. Well, Q is down here, guys. So the sine of Q is its opposite, which is 5 over the hypotenuse x. And skipping the middle step, guys, if I put a 1 here and cross multiply and solve it, x is going to be 5 over sine of Q. So guess what? That's what they have here. So that one's a yes. And logically, if 5 over sine works, guys, can 5 over tangent or 5 over cosine work? No. So that's how I would approach that one. Okay? All right, let's look at this one here. Notice they're telling us to do the sine of A. Well, here's A. The sine of A is going to be the opposite over the hypotenuse, 8 over 10. That reduces to 4/5 by dividing by 2. So does sine A equal 4/5? Yes. Could cosine A? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, they changed the numbers here. So we have to just take it one by one, guys. I almost tricked myself there. All right, let's do cosine of A. If I wanted cosine of this A, do you understand I would do adjacent over hypotenuse, and 6 over 10 reduces to 3/5 when I divide by 2. And notice they have it upside down. That's how they trick you guys. They flip things around, add negatives and stuff. So we know this one's a no. It should be 3 over 5. Okay? Now, what about the sine of B? Let's do that one. See, the only way to do a problem like this, guys, is generally you have to do it one by one. So what is the sine of B? Now, keep in mind they changed the angle on us. B is up here. The sine of B would be its opposite, 6 over hypotenuse 10. That reduces to 3/5 when I divide by 2. And they have 3/4, so that one's a no as well. What about cosine of B? Well, the cosine of B is up here again, is the adjacent 8 over the hypotenuse 10. Dividing by 2, that reduces to 4/5, right? And they have 4/5. So that one would be yes. So guys, I really hope and pray that you not only watch this video, but you study it, maybe make some notes or flashcards out of it so you could study it further on your own, on paper. But that being said, guys, I will guarantee you better know your SOHCAHTOA on this CASP test. Okay? And I'll see you soon in class.